Acting Deputy President, if I had bumped into the Prime Minister today, I would only have one question for him. Prime Minister, what happened to our working relationship? You used to welcome me warmly, friendly in public, always with a smile, talking about me to young people in your speeches. But that changed the moment I stood on principle. And today I find myself co-signing a coalition bill, not because I've changed sides, but because I've stayed true to my duty. For the past year, the Prime Minister has used the levers of power to punish dissent. Some might call it coercive control. I call it political retribution. I didn't cross the floor on a whim. I crossed it on a matter of principle, in support of Labor policy, no less. The very same principle the government have now come to support 14 months later. It was never personal, but the response has been. Since that moment, I've been excluded from key processes, stripped off the resources every senator needs to do their job. I've been treated more harshly than those sitting on the opposite side of the chamber. When I was a schoolgirl, I had my hijab ripped off from my head by bullies. That didn't shake me then, and bullying won't shake me now. Yeah. Acting Deputy President, I thank the Coalition for introducing this bill to amend the Members of Parliament Staff Act 1984. I also thank Senator Hanson for acknowledging my situation. When that bill was first debated more than 40 years ago, Liberal Senator from Tasmania, Senator Michael Townley, warned that this act would one day be weaponised by an authoritarian Prime Minister to reward loyalty and punish dissent. He said, and I quote, "I do not believe that this is all a good thing. It is open to patronage and should not really be contemplated by the government." Senator Townley saw what we're now living. I have had no advisers since I joined the crossbench in July last year. A deliberate and targeted decision by our Prime Minister. No other crossbencher has been treated that way. This is the action of a vindictive Prime Minister who has disadvantaged Western Australians by weakening my ability to represent them. I'm the only West Australian to be able to put the people over any party. I'm the only independent senator able to actually stand up for the interests of the great state I represent. But the Prime Minister is stopping me from doing my job effectively. I've faced down online trolls, Islamophobes, racists and neo-Nazis, but I will not be bullied in my workplace. Acting Deputy President, if the Prime Minister were here in this chamber, I would ask him, is this leadership or is this a page torn from the Trump playbook? Because what we're witnessing is an abuse of executive power. Denying senators the means to scrutinise legislation isn't just unfair. He's in breach of the spirit of our Constitution, undermining the very purpose of the Senate as a house of review. Does he understand how this looks? Petty, authoritarian, a political bully trying to coerce and control. I am a young Australian Muslim woman of colour. I've been bullied out of Afghanistan. I will not be bullied by this man.